person in the room, and I'm speaking to you at whatever place that you're at. Okay, and so some of this is review, but you're not allowed to roll your eyes until you fully understand it well enough to teach it. There's two types of leadership. There's technical leadership and there's adaptive leadership. Both are critically important. How we address technical problems looks like more information. You go to more certs, you just watch a bunch more YouTube, you go to clinics, you enroll yourself in programs, and this is critically important. This also never ends. However, the thing that makes this place a little different, and I think the thing that makes this a little bit more valuable is this adaptive part, this adaptive leadership. And this is why I'm telling you that I'm speaking to every single person in the room, because this is about change, and how we evolve and lead in this way is about adaptation. And I need you to hear me on that, because the proof of this thing's value is that there are many, many, many more people who know enough, who know more than enough information, that are not qualified to do this thing. They've quit the program, they work here, then they're at another gym, making less money, they're less pumped. Whatever the thing is, they have limitations that are not based on information. It's their skill set, it's their perspective, it's their inability to lead. If you guys remember our model here on what is great coaching, it looks like this. The technical part is in the middle, and this is very important. So if you're the guy or the girl who's like, I'm almost there, I forgot, the point of performance of the hang snatch, then yeah, we need this. This is so critical. This place in general, the gym environment and our conversation does a pretty good job across the board of this context thing, because you're seeing people who are, doing the Edo thing, and then you're seeing people breathing out of the straw, and they're doing the Julian thing, and then you see the CrossFit people, and then you see all these different disciplines here. Helps us not be assholes and dogmatic, right? Okay, so we're doing a pretty good job of the context thing. This leadership thing will never, ever, ever, ever happen unless you understand what I'm saying on this adaptive thing. And the reason why it's a relative message for every single person in the room, myself included, is that we all have edges, a place where you start acting funny, places where you're no longer getting an A on the report card, it's kind of like a C+, areas where you're uncomfortable, areas that make you nervous, and we all have these edges, and they just keep getting bigger. Savage leaders are really interested in this adaptive thing because we can grow those edges. You can deal with the parts that are uncomfortable for you, that you're not prepared for, where you start acting funny. I've yet to see programs and people and individuals who are willing to address this part. You can see a million little ads on Facebook of people that are like, the programming that'll fucking send you to the thing, or the way to get new members at your gym. This is all technical bullshit, and you can Google it all. What we're interested in right now is that you become a little bit more capable than you are right now. And that's sweet, because we're all under that responsibility right now. So this happens when you see blind spots, when you're exposed to things that you can't see. Immunity to change drill is one way to do that. Drills where we put you in an uncomfortable position to do the next thing that you can't do yet. So for some of you, it's like, I can't lead a warm-up, I would cry in front of a class of people. That's like one level of the thing. If you're smashing classes all day long, then that's a wrap. That's in the bag. That's inside of your capacity. What's on the edge, though, is could you lead another person to do that thing? And if the answer is no, then we don't understand leadership yet. If you couldn't lead a bunch of other leaders to lead some leaders, then that's your edge, and then you don't understand that part of leadership. And so we all have an edge somewhere. We're really interested, hopefully, in finding out what that edge is. The fast track in adaptive change is a growth mindset, because that means you are highly interested in what your edges are, the negative feedback part. If you're not interested in that, this will be very slow, painful, probably static process in your development. And so we already know how this goes. Hopefully the goal here today is that at no point are you off the hook in your own development. Clear? So today's drill should drive development regardless of where you're at. And I'm going to assign some responsibilities and set some sort of criteria, and we're going to embrace feedback surrounding this to drive that adaptation. But here's the deal. It will only happen if you are willing to be courageous and seek your edge, the part where you start fucking up, where you start acting funny. All right? And we all have that. In small groups, create drills that would inspire learning in our students. Deliberate practice is the sort of behind the scenes model that we use to make our 1 minute of practice a little bit better than someone else's 1 minute of practice. And there's some specific criteria for deliberate practice. In order for all this to work, we need one thing clear in our minds first. Do you guys remember what that is? Representation. All right, spelling. Okay, cool. We call that the standard. Idealism, whatever. You have to be able to see it in order to know the difference between what you just practiced and the actual thing, right? If you're playing the piano, it's the note on the page. You press the key. It sounds like not the note on the page. The difference is informing us how to improve. Standard. Okay, and then now we have 3 criteria, and Chris is already on it. So, what did you say?
Stretch goal.
Yeah, not just any stretch goal, a clear stretch goal. If you guys understand these 3 principles, you don't need to like use the words or talk about it or ever write it on the board in class, but you can teach people anything at the highest level. Anything. This is the tool belt. I need you to have the tool belt. Second thing is maybe the most important. What was it? Yeah. Immediate, informative feedback. And the last one is repetition under these criteria. So our goal right now is to create some drills that we can put our athletes through that will have them not just doing reps, but doing more meaningful reps. And so a drill, by definition, is not the whole focus. The example we talk about a lot is like a football drill is not a game of football. You shrink down one part of the game of football, you put out some cones, and you maybe put like a little pad up or whatever, and you play a little tiny part of football over and over and over again, focus on the one tiny thing. So when you guys are in your groups and you're thinking of, all right, we need to create this drill, you have some very clear criteria, but also shrink down the thing into something smaller so that we can hyper-focus on it. Is that clear? Okay, so in a second in your groups, you're going to sort of go through this process. On some level, you should be doing this every single day because you're teaching the snatch balance. You cannot do the keynote speech on the snatch balance. You need to decide what's today going to be about. Like, what is the focus of today? Okay, we'll call that the standard. These are our points of performance, the mental representation, etc. And then you guys are going to design whatever this drill looks like. So it's not just do 5 snatch balances, please, ready to go. It's something more focused than that, that is clear and is beyond their current comfort level. No one should have mastered the drill. The drill needs to stretch them. The next thing is that there needs to be some way to inform them immediately of their deviation from the standard. So we're putting them in an environment that's going to give them more information than sort of at the end of their 5 reps, them being like, no, that's pretty good. Right? They need more information than that, and we can do that in a number of different ways. You'll have to get creative on that. That is the deliberate practice drill that you'll be designing. And then at the end of this section, you're going to actually deploy the drill. And here's what's fucked up. Just like last time when we talked about what is leadership, there will be group leaders, and these leaders are going to be responsible for the results or lack thereof of their team. They will not be able to lead the groups. One of the coaches in the group will lead. So there are 2 roles of this thing. There's going to be a team leader. Team leader has very clear responsibilities here. They're going to extract from the group. They're not going to tell the group. They're going to pull out of the group this drill that will follow deliberate practice principles. And their expectation is that the team successfully deploys this drill. Like, we actually see some bar muscle ups happen under deliberate practice principles, and it goes well. All three criteria are met in that drill. That's messed up because they don't have full control over the results, right? But that's what we sign up for if we're choosing to be a leader. All the other people in the group are coach participants, meaning you could be selected to teach the drill, and you're a little bit more process oriented here. You're using the mental representation of the movement to create the drill following the criteria mentioned over here. The drill you will deploy is going to be 20 reps, and you get to decide the rep scheme or the reps and sets that best suits your drill, but that will be what we will observe. 20 reps of people in this deliberate practice drill. So the lesson is surrounding tension required to link the pull-up, the chest to bar pull-up, or the bar muscle up, meaning there's no reset at the bottom. We're able to touch and go, connect reps 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Okay? Deliberate practice drill. So team leaders, you're on the hook for everybody in the room, one, figuring this out, like coming from them, and that the drill meets all the criteria. Okay, so you're deciding and designing your drill. All right, I'll set a clock.